What's up, everybody? We are back. Beyond the Gates. Listen, I feel like this show needs to fully be on Paramount Plus. That's how I watch it because I don't pay for cable no more. I've been cut that shit. It got too expensive. I'm like, no. Um, but I think the show should be on Paramount Plus because they should do how Peacock is doing with Days. You know what I mean? There's a lot of benefits for daytime drama to be on a streaming platform. You don't get no interruptions. You could be a little bit more loose with the script. You know what I'm saying? Like, it gives you a bit more leeway. We ain't got to worry about all these little stupid interruptions. You ain't got to worry about that. Soccer games taking up a whole day, so that way you're missing out on a couple of days of the show. That's ludicrous. So I would prefer it to be on Paramount Plus full time, me personally. But anyway, getting into this episode, listen, I feel like Cat and Tomas both were making valid points, even though on the one hand, I feel like Tomas straddles the fence. I feel like he does. When it comes to Eva and Cat, it's like he defends that girl to the ends of the earth, and I totally get where Cat is coming from. Like, he defends her all the time. Like, he always sees her side of things. I think maybe that's because he could relate to her more. I feel like that's part of it, but another part of it is I definitely feel like he want to hit that. I do. Every time he look at her, you can see it. It's all in his eyes. Like, he's attracted to her. He's definitely physically attracted to her. And at some point, he might become emotionally attached, attracted to her. But my whole thing is with Kat, I get her being upset because I agree with her. Like, Eva's not blameless in all of this because she's not. She has to shoulder some responsibility for this mess, which she does. But that's where I agree with Tomas. Eva did not ask to be here. That wasn't her fault. Like, you need to blame your daddy, you need to blame Leslie. That's the ones who did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying Kat gotta like the girl, but you need to put the blame where it needs to be at the end of the day. My issue in this episode with Kat was her telling Tomas he can't have no contact with Eva. Like, he can't share another moment with her. I have a problem with that because he's a grown man, and the grown man in me, I just feel like you're not going to tell me who I can and can't associate with. If somebody didn't do something to me, why should I have that hatred for them just because you're pissed at them? You know what I'm saying? That's not my fight. That's your fight. And my whole thing is this too. Are Kat and Tomas even a couple? Like, are they official, like boyfriend, girlfriend, or are they just talking? Like, they just dating? You know what I'm saying? Because that ain't even technically your man officially. So how you gonna tell him who he can and can't talk to? That's a bit extreme. But Tomas do need to stop straddling the fence, though. Like, he do. He needs to, at some point, and I guess that point was today, you're gonna have to pick a side. You know what I'm saying? Even though, how do I put this? This is such a complex situation because I just said he need to pick a side. Then I just said that, you ain't going to tell me who to hang out with. It's complex, though. It's complex as shit. It's like, it's not black or white. You know what I'm saying? It's not, it's very gray. That's all I can say. It's very gray. Like, it's a huge gray area with this mess. Because a part of me is like, no, you're not going to tell me who I can and can't, talk to. It's like I have a big problem with that when people give ultimatums like that. I don't respond well to ultimatums. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that might backfire on Kat. So anyway, moving on from that, Leslie. This heifer sitting over here having dreams about Ted coming to see her, kissing on her. Baby, that ain't never gonna happen. You get that out your dream. You need to wake up and apologize because it ain't never gonna happen, boo. She is so cold. Like, when Eva came to the apartment and told her that she had to sleep in her car, she didn't give a fuck. Leslie did not care at all. Leslie had her bags packed, had her suitcase packed, and was like, here you go. She was like, girl, I slept in my car last night. She said, well, call your daddy. It's like, how cold-hearted can you be? That's why a part of me feels like Eva's not her real daughter. A part of me is feeling that way because I'm like, I've seen TV characters be, cold with their kids, but this is just a whole different vibe. It's like she treats this girl like dirt. You know what I'm saying? Even when they were on good terms, everything was all about Leslie and her plan and her payback. It was all about her. She didn't give a damn about her daughter. She just kept making Eva believe it was about Eva, when in reality it was about what Leslie wanted. It was never about what Eva wanted. She could care less. Like, Leslie ain't shit. And by Leslie doing what she's doing, it shows that she didn't listen to a damn thing Anita said to her at the mansion. She didn't hear nothing that woman said to her. Like, it went in one ear and out the other, and all she did also was prove Anita's point. You don't care about your child. You weaponized your child. And now that she can't weaponize Eva no more, Eva's no longer useful to her. Now you want to put her out like yesterday's garbage. Proving a point. You're a shit parent. Because that was cold. Then she gonna take the photo that they were in and throw it in the trash. I said, Lord. The best thing Eva did was walk out that door. And I know it hurt her because to see her mother treat her like that. But you know what? Leslie did her a favor in the long run. She did her a big favor by telling her to get out. Did her a big favor. Now you out from under her grasp. But something tell me Leslie ain't gonna go away quietly. I can see the way she's standing there staring. She plotting. She plotting her next move. What she gonna do? It ain't over. Not by a long shot. Leslie, she thinking of another plot. I enjoyed the Ted and Eva scenes when she went to go see him because she ain't had nowhere else to go. Nowhere else to go but her car, and that girl should not be sleeping in her vehicle. That ain't right. And I'm glad Ted let her in, and they got to hash things out and stuff. And I totally agree with Ted. She should have come to him when she first came to town. But I could see Eva's point. She was manipulated by her mother. You know what I'm saying? She grew up more than likely hating Ted, thinking that Ted abandoned her. This is what was drilled into her head probably since she was a child. So it's like, she was programmed in a way. So it was hard for her to come to him. She wasn't thinking about that. She never thought there was a possibility that he didn't know that she existed. She just believed everything her mother said because that's what she was raised to believe. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad he heard her out, and I am glad that, he was like, listen, you can stay with me. He said, I'll get you a room here, and I'm going to get you an apartment. I said, go ahead, Teddy. Go ahead. I'm so glad he did that for her. You know what I mean? That was nice of him, even though he was like, I'm not forgiving you for what you did. But I feel like if they work towards it, he going to forgive her at some point. I mean, that's your daughter. You know what I'm saying? She did what she did. She was manipulated into doing it. So moving on from that, Haley. Didn't she tell Bill that she wanted to continue working? Why her ass ain't never at work doing no work? I'm just saying. Haley need to do something with herself because I'm over her. Like, when Ted came over there to talk to Bill, she wouldn't leave the room because Ted basically was like, can you, leave? She ain't going nowhere. I'm like, ma'am. She talking about, well, I already know everything that's going on. That's not the point, though. You don't need to be there. Don't you got something to go do? Damn, go shop. You got a bottomless credit card. Go shopping. Go do something. Everything. Ted had me fucking defending Bill trifling ass. I was so mad. I said, damn you, Teddy. You got me defending Bill of all people. Because Bill had a valid ass point. Because Ted came over there trying to blame Bill for Leslie coming back to town. And I agreed 1,000% with Bill. First of all, you've known for the last couple months that this woman was back in town. Why didn't you come to Bill when you first saw she was back in town? Bill had a valid ass point, and I don't even like him, but he was right on with that one. He was dead ass on with that. I agreed with him 1,000%. He was spot on. That's what Ted should have done. So you can't blame Bill for all of this. Bill, by threatening her the way he did, it bought your ass 20 plus years. She ain't popped back up until 20 years later. He bought you up over 2 decades of time. So I feel like he did his job. Because Ted talking about, oh, you supposed to be the fixer. Sir, he did fix your problem. For 20 damn years, he fixed it. It's not his fault the broad came back. He didn't know nothing about her having a child. His plan was just to get her ass out of town, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, what else did you want him to do? And I love the scenes with him and Ted because it kind of showed a human side to Bill. Because even Bill was like, shit, if I had to do it all over again, he said I would. But he was like, shit, I can't fix this for you right now. Ain't nothing I could do. It's already out there. It's public. You know what I'm saying? Nicole know everything now. Is nothing I could fix. Because he could relate to Ted. Because both of them married into the Dupree family. He felt like they were both outsiders, so he could relate to him. He felt a connection with Ted. So that's why he felt the need to help him save his marriage. I said, okay, Bill, I see you. You still trifling and shit, but okay. I see the brotherhood, the camaraderie. Okay, that's cool. Haley done brought her ass back up in there. I'm like, girl, go file a nail or something. She's sitting here talking about, oh, I'm not eating breakfast with him. Haley, you ain't no fucking better than him. How you not gonna eat breakfast with him? I'm glad Ted got out their presence. I said, sir, go home. Go back to your hotel room. Because Ted think he done lost Nicole forever. I'm like, sir, unless she filed for divorce, you still got time to make this right. I don't know what you can do to make it right, but you still got some time. Obviously, you still got to end. She ain't filed nothing yet. That's the good point. That's a good start. But Haley is so insufferable. And I love when Danny came up in there and, yo, the way Danny walked up in there like a boss. See, that's why Haley got a lot to learn. Because, baby, the way you got dismissed in your own home, you see how Ted came up in there and told her to leave. She wouldn't go nowhere. But when Danny came up in that bitch and told her to dismiss herself, I see she got the hell about that room. I see she moved. Because she know Danny ain't nothing to play with. Danny was like, listen, you need to let the adults talk. I freaking love Danny. Bill should have known Danny was gonna come see him. He should have known that much. Like, so you should have known she was gonna darken your doorstep. You shouldn't even be surprised. Oh, that scene between Nicole and Eva. I could see why Nicole is still pissed at Eva. I could see why, but she admitted that she don't hate her though. She was like, nah, I don't hate you. I don't even hate you. Baby, Danny walked up in there and was like, but I do. I hate your ass. She told him to get out. Yeah, I love Danny. Danny was on point, though. I love that she was there for her sister. And, Nicole wasn't okay with her, defending Ted or whatever. But Danny made valid points about Ted. Made very valid points. Like, yeah, Ted fucked up. Majorly. Royally. But let's be for real. It wasn't repeated behavior. He cheated one time with Leslie. He cheated, he cheated with one woman that one time. Or multiple times with the same woman, however long. Either way, he cheated with one damn woman. It wasn't like it was repeated behavior. Like, he's not on the level of Bill. You know what I'm saying? I will give Ted that. He ain't nowhere near on the level of Bill, because when Bill was out here cheating, Bill had multiple women he was messing with throughout his marriage to Danny. That wasn't Ted. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't how Ted was rolling. Ted made a mistake with one crazy ass woman, and he didn't even know about the child. And for 20 plus years, he devoted his life to his family. I do believe that Ted is in love with Nicole. I do believe he still want to be with her. Like, that's the love of his life, and that's what Danny was trying to put out there to her. But at the same time, I get why Nicole don't want to hear it. I totally understand why she don't want to hear that shit. Totally get it. Nicole was like, I don't want to hear it. Even if it is true that he's been a damn good husband all these years, besides that mishap, that doesn't negate what he did at the end of the day. And Nicole has to forgive or not forgive whenever she wants to. You know what I'm saying? If and when she decided to take that man back. And that's a big if. I don't blame Nicole for not wanting to make a major decision about her marriage right now. She need to take her time. This ain't gonna blow over in one damn day. Like, this is a lot to take in. It's gonna take her some time to possibly forgive him or be in the same room as him or try to, resume their marriage. That's gonna take a lot of time. And Nicole needs to take her time. Absolutely. She shouldn't be making no decisions about that right now. I don't blame her. You got to. That's a huge betrayal of epic proportions. I would be taking my time too. Honest to God, I would. But you know what? I love how Danny and Nicole saw the parallels in their life, their marriages. Because Nicole is doing the opposite of what Danny did when she found out about Bill and Haley. Like Danny reacted. Danny was just scorched earth, just acting crazy, acting out, showing out. Nicole is more reserved. Like she just sitting by herself with her thoughts, taking some time out for her, not lashing out, not busting up nobody windows. Because Nicole, I think, is going through so many different emotions right now. She's going through rage. She's going through depression, just being depressed. Just she feeling sad, like just so many different damn emotions in her. Like she's not in that place to rage right now. She's just feeling numb. But I got a feeling that when that rage boil up and she ready to show out, Ted better watch his back. Leslie better watch hers. Because I got a feeling it's a beast that's laying inside of Nicole that's waiting to come out. That's the vibe I get from her. Like, she just trying to suppress that shit. But she gonna make it through. And that's what I love about Danny, because Danny is so ride or die. Like, Danny was like, listen, I'm ready to whoop all they ass. She said, I'm ready to beat Eva ass, Leslie ass, Ted ass, Bill ass. Like, Danny was on go. Danny was ready. She was like, shit, if you ain't got the strength to fight, I'm gonna fight for you. But I love how she respected Nicole's wishes and just let her be by herself and stuff like that. Let her collect herself. I love their scenes. Like, that was beautiful. I was so surprised when Vernon went to go get the paper, because he was looking in the paper and immediately told Anita. He said, well, I got the paper. We ain't in it. Vernon was making sure they ass wasn't a hot topic. I ain't mad at it, because I would have been the same way, especially a public display like that. I would have been looking all up through the papers, the blogs, making sure our name ain't up in there. I was surprised. I said, people still read the paper. I used to love reading the newspaper. Now I get all my news online now. But I used to love getting a physical paper. Looking at it and looking through the funnies. That was my favorite time growing up. I used to love reading the paper, man. It was just so fun. So fun. I need to go back to doing that. Reading a physical paper. I miss those days. I get why they not, rocking with Ted right now, but I feel like they can't really put Ted in the same category as Bill. Bill was a straight ass. You know what I'm saying? Ted filed for what he did too, but I just can't put them in the same category together. I cannot. Honest to God, I don't think I could do all of that. But I love their conversation with Chelsea though, because Chelsea didn't think her father would go that low to threaten a woman and her baby and stuff. But I'm glad they reassured her, because they know Bill. I mean, I said Ted, I think. But they know Bill. They know Bill ain't gonna physically do anything. They're sure about that. They was like, he just bully. He all bully, no brute. He not gonna sit there and go through with that threat. They firmly believe that much about him. He might be a lot of things, an ass, a jackass, a bottom feeder. He might be all those things, but they know he not gonna harm no lady and her child. They don't believe that part. Cause they try to reassure Chelsea. They was like, listen, your father's a lot of things, but he ain't that. Cause I know that was hard for Chelsea and Naomi to hear, their father threatening a pregnant lady and stuff like that. They ain't think he could stoop that low. But at the end of the day, their father's ruthless. He gets what he wants. By any means necessary, he gonna get that result. But when Nicole came in, I felt so bad for her when she was sitting with her parents, because she felt like a failure in their eyes. Her marriage didn't work out, and she felt like, it didn't live up to this perfect life that her parents created. But see, that's the thing though. Nicole has to stop thinking that her life has to be perfect. Because that's the thing. Everybody walked around thinking Nicole and Ted had the perfect marriage, when in reality they didn't. And they think Anita and Vernon have the perfect marriage, when I believe in reality, no, they don't. You know what I'm saying? It just looks that way because they make it look that way. It was, it took a lot to get them to damn near perfect. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot. You talking about two people that's probably been married for over 50 years. You know what I'm saying? You don't think they dealt with their fair share of trials and tribulations throughout them years? Absolutely. They just probably haven't talked about it or told their dirt. But I'm pretty sure they had some dirt in that marriage. They just never talked about the shit. But I'm pretty sure it'll probably come up at some point. Their marriage is not perfect, but it took a lot for them to get to this point. No marriage is perfect, even the ones that look that way. Trust me, you'll be surprised. Like, I had grandparents that was married for over 40 years. Trust. It may have looked good, but I knew for a fact. What I knew, it wasn't perfect. I knew that. So I'm glad they sat there and reassured her and stuff like that, because this ain't her fault. None of this is her fault. She needs to not look at herself as a failure. Nicole is anything but a failure. Her and Danny are anything but. They are far from failures. Trust. A lot of people would love to live the life they live, and I ain't just talking about the money. You know what I'm saying? That they make good money. I'm talking about how they are good people. They come from a good family and they made something out of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Careers they could be proud of. They worked their ass off to get. Plenty of people would be damn happy to, have that. And a supportive family that rallies around you when you're going through tough shit. A lot of people don't have that. So trust, she's anything but a failure. But I think that's everything in this episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought. And I will see you all later. Peace.